Decoded.
Hey bookworms, and welcome back to Book Decoded. Today we're diving into a book all about a trait that's suddenly hotter than a freshly baked croissant curiosity.
It's true. LinkedIn saw a whopping 90% jump in job postings mentioning curiosity. Everyone's finally realizing that curiosity isn't just child's play.
Right.
It's a superpower for success in work and life.
Absolutely. So we're cracking open curiosity, the secret ingredient for success in personal and professional growth, by Stefaan van Hooydonk, to uncover what's behind this curiosity craze.
Yeah, this book dives deep into the multifaceted nature of curiosity. It goes beyond simply asking questions. It's about actively seeking out knowledge, venturing into uncharted territories of thought, and even challenging the well-trodden paths we often take.
The book talks about two main flavors of curiosity, right?
Yes. It highlights I-type curiosity, which thrives on the sheer joy of exploration. Imagine someone like Bill Gates, who devours 50 books a year simply because he finds immense pleasure in learning. That's I-type curiosity in action.
He's like a knowledge-seeking missile. Then there's the other type.
D-type curiosity. This one stems from a feeling of information gap anxiety, a nagging sense that we're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Think of scientists who dedicate years to unraveling a single research question, fueled by that deep-seated yearning to understand.
So it's like the difference between joyfully wandering through a new city versus meticulously piecing together clues in a mystery novel.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that both types of curiosity light up the reward pathways in our brains.
Wait, so that aha moment is literally giving our brains a pat on the back.
Precisely. It triggers the release of dopamine, similar to the feeling we get from achieving a goal or savoring a delicious meal. This inherent reward system makes learning enjoyable and motivates us to keep exploring.
No wonder we crave those light bulb moments. Is there a specific area of the brain linked to this?
There is. The book mentions a region called the precuneus, which is associated with self-awareness and curiosity. Interestingly, Einstein's precuneus was 15% larger than average.
No, that's a brain teaser. Makes you wonder if there's a link between the size of our precuneus and our capacity for curiosity. What else does the book reveal about the brain's role in all of this?
Well, the book also explores how stress can be a double-edged sword for curiosity. A healthy dose can push us beyond our comfort zones and ignite our curious spirit. However, excessive stress can act like a mental straitjacket, hindering our ability to embrace new ideas.
That makes sense. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, learning new things is the last thing on my mind. It's more like survival mode.
Exactly. But as the book points out, navigating today's complex world requires us to develop resilience and maintain our curiosity even amidst challenges. And this is something companies are increasingly recognizing.
Which brings us back to that LinkedIn stat about the surge in job postings seeking curious candidates.
Yeah.
What's the connection?
It seems companies are catching on to the fact that employees who are naturally curious tend to be more innovative, adaptable, and engaged. They bring fresh perspectives and challenge the status quo, which is essential for companies to thrive in today's rapidly changing landscape.
So instead of just going with the flow, they're asking why and coming up with new and improved ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Does the book give any examples of how this plays out in the real world?
Absolutely. The book shares the story of NBA player Rick Barry, who defied convention by using an underhand free throw technique.
Now that's thinking outside the basketball court.
And it paid off. His success rate soared to an impressive 90%.
Wow.
Proving that sometimes the most effective solutions come from challenging the norm. It's a reminder that we shouldn't be afraid to question the way things have always been done.
That's a great example of how curiosity can lead to breakthroughs. But how can we tap into that power of curiosity? Does the book offer any guidance?
It does. The book outlines 3 keys to unlocking curiosity: permission, awareness, and intentionality. Let's start with permission.
Okay.
It's about giving yourself the freedom to explore new avenues, ask seemingly dumb questions, and step outside your comfort zone without fear of judgment.
So it's about silencing that inner critic who tells us to play it safe and stick to what we know.
Exactly. It's about embracing a beginner's mindset and approaching new experiences with a sense of childlike wonder. The second key, awareness,
Okay.
is about paying close attention to the world around us, our own thoughts and biases,
Yeah.
and those sparks of interest that ignite our curiosity.
Like noticing those moments when something piques our interest and we want to learn more.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about tuning in to those subtle cues and recognizing what truly captivates our attention. And finally, intentionality is about putting curiosity into action. It's great to contemplate being more curious,
Yeah.
but we need to actively pursue those interests, ask those burning questions,
Right.
and engage with the world in a way that fuels our curiosity.
So it's about transforming that passive spark of interest into an active flame of exploration.
Exactly. It's about making a conscious choice to nurture and cultivate our curiosity rather than letting it remain dormant.
This is really making me think about how I can be more intentional about feeding my own curiosity. But before we get too caught up in our personal journeys of exploration,
Yeah.
I'm curious to know if the book touches on the broader impact of curiosity beyond individual growth.
It absolutely does. The book makes a thought-provoking connection between curiosity and the well-being of our planet.
Intriguing. So it's not just about personal or professional success, but also about using our curiosity to make the world a better place.
Exactly. The book presents a startling statistic that domesticated animals now outweigh wild animals by a ratio of more than 10 to 1.
Wow, that's a pretty stark reminder of our impact on the planet and the need to find more sustainable ways of living. Does the book offer any solutions or inspire hope in this regard?
It does. It highlights how curiosity is driving positive change in various fields. For example, it features Phil Asmundson, a retired executive who became a winemaker, and through his curiosity about new technologies, managed to reduce his insecticide use by 96% and water consumption by a remarkable 88%.
That's an incredible example of how curiosity can lead to tangible solutions for some of the biggest challenges we face. Are there other examples of this in the book?
Yes, it explores the rise of vertical farming, which involves growing food in stacked layers indoors. It's an innovative approach to address issues like water scarcity and food transportation.
So curiosity isn't just about individual success. It's about harnessing our collective ingenuity to create a more sustainable and equitable future for everyone.
Precisely. And that leads us to a thought-provoking question for you, dear listener. What small intentional changes can you make to nourish your own curiosity while also contributing to a more sustainable world? It's a question worth pondering as we continue our exploration of this fascinating book. It really makes you think about the ripple effects of curiosity, from personal growth to groundbreaking innovations and even shaping a more sustainable future. It's a powerful force.
Absolutely. But before we get too carried away, I'd love to circle back to the idea of giving ourselves permission to be curious. That really resonated with me. It's so easy to let fear hold us back from exploring new ideas or asking questions.
It's a common struggle, isn't it? We often worry about appearing foolish or venturing outside our comfort zones. But as the book highlights, embracing a culture of permission is crucial for fostering curiosity.
Are there any real-world examples of companies that have successfully cultivated this kind of environment?
Absolutely. The book mentions McKinsey, the renowned consulting firm, as a prime example. They actively encourage employees to challenge assumptions, even those held by senior leaders. They understand that groundbreaking insights often emerge from questioning the status quo.
So it's about fostering a sense of psychological safety, where people feel comfortable expressing their curiosity without fear of repercussions.
Exactly. And another company that embodies this spirit is Patagonia, the outdoor apparel company known for its commitment to environmental sustainability. Their entire ethos revolves around encouraging adventure and challenging norms, both in their product development and company culture.
It's fascinating how these companies have woven curiosity into the very fabric of their operations.
It's a testament to the power of creating an environment where curiosity is not only welcomed, but celebrated. Now let's move on to the second key to unlocking curiosity: awareness. The book emphasizes the importance of paying attention to even the smallest details.
It's about shifting from a superficial glance to a deep dive, right? Really immersing ourselves in our surroundings and noticing those subtle cues that spark new ideas or connections.
Precisely. It's about cultivating a mindful approach to experiencing the world around us. The book actually cites a fascinating museum study that revealed people spend an average of only 4 seconds looking at a piece of art.
4 seconds. That's barely enough time to register what you're even looking at.
It highlights how we often miss out on hidden gems when we rush through life on autopilot. But when we slow down and truly observe, we unlock a deeper level of understanding and appreciation. There was an intriguing experiment conducted at the National Gallery in London where they added sound to a painting, creating a more immersive experience.
Oh, I'd love to hear more about this.
Did it change how people engaged with the artwork?
It did. Visitors ended up spending 4 minutes instead of 4 seconds engaging with the painting. It demonstrates that even subtle changes in our approach can dramatically enhance our experience of the world around us.
That's a compelling argument for being more intentional about how we engage with our surroundings, which nicely segues into the third key to unlocking curiosity intentionality.
Indeed, it's not enough to simply be aware. We must actively pursue those interests that spark our curiosity. The book offers several compelling examples of individuals who exemplify intentionality in their pursuit of knowledge.
I'm eager to hear about these curiosity champions.
Well, there's Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel Prize-winning psychologist who intentionally carves out time each day for reading and learning. And then there's Stephen Shepard, who became so captivated by tumbleweeds that he started sending out messages attached to them,
Right.
much like one would with a balloon.
That's such a delightful example of how curiosity can be playful and lead to unexpected adventures. It reminds me of the book's distinction between small c and big C curiosity, which I found quite insightful.
It's a valuable framework, isn't it? Small c curiosity refers to those everyday moments of wonder and exploration, while big C curiosity involves those deeper, more intentional pursuits that truly drive us forward.
It's like the difference between being intrigued by a new restaurant in your neighborhood
Yeah,
versus dedicating yourself to learning a new language or mastering a complex skill.
exactly. And the book emphasizes that both types of curiosity are essential for a fulfilling life.
Wow.
Now, I know some listeners might be thinking, but I'm just not a curious person.
Yeah.
It's a common misconception that curiosity is an innate trait that some people have and others don't. However,
Right.
one of the most empowering messages in the book is that curiosity is a skill, not a fixed personality trait.
So we can actually learn to be more curious. Tell me more.
Absolutely. And the book offers practical strategies to cultivate curiosity. One technique is to ask more open-ended questions, the kind that spark deeper conversations and insights.
That's a great tip.
Mhm.
It reminds me of the importance of active listening and being genuinely interested in other people's perspectives.
Precisely. The book also encourages developing a curious question mindset, approaching everything with a sense of wonder and a desire to understand. It challenges us to ask, what am I not seeing? Because often the most valuable information is hidden in plain sight.
It's like that saying, the only stupid question is the one that's not asked. Yet so many of us, especially in professional settings, hesitate to ask those stupid questions out of fear of judgment.
It's a valid concern. But the book reminds us that even seemingly stupid questions can lead to unexpected breakthroughs and a deeper understanding. It's about shifting our perspective and viewing questions as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our ego.
That's a powerful reframe.
Yeah.
So how do we cultivate this fearlessness when it comes to asking questions?
The book suggests several approaches. One is to simply practice asking more questions in our daily lives,
Okay.
even if they feel a bit silly at first. Another is to surround ourselves with people who are also curious and who encourage us to explore new ideas.
So it's about creating a supportive environment where curiosity can flourish.
Exactly. And it's also about recognizing that curiosity is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when we feel more curious than others, and that's okay. The key is to keep nurturing that spark of curiosity and to never stop exploring.
This has been such an enlightening conversation. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on the power of curiosity and how I can cultivate it in my own life.
Yeah.
Any final takeaways from the book that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
One of the most compelling arguments the book makes is that curiosity is not just a personal pursuit. It's a force for good in the world. By embracing our own curiosity and encouraging it in others, we can contribute to a more innovative, compassionate, and sustainable future.
That's a beautiful thought to end on. I highly recommend Curiosity, The Secret Ingredient for Success in Personal and Professional Growth by Stefaan van Hooydonk, to anyone looking to unleash their inner explorer and make a positive impact on the world. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Book Decoded. Until next time, stay curious.